You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 26th of July. Pakistan using terrorism proxy war to stay relevant, says India's PM Modi. Rights body chief detained briefly in Pakistan ahead of Baloch rally. And Sri Lanka to hold presidential election amid critical economic reforms. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday paid homage to fallen soldiers as he participated in the Shraddhanjali Samaroh on 25th anniversary of India's victory in 1999 Kargil War. In his address in Kargil, PM Modi said that India not only won the war but also presented incredible example of truth, restraint and strength. The Prime Minister threw light on Pakistan's deceit at the time when India was making all efforts to maintain peace and said falsehood and terror were brought down to their knees by truth. He added Pakistan has not learnt anything from the past and has continued to wage war in garb of terrorism and proxy wars to stay relevant today. He asserted that nefarious intentions of the terrorist will never be fulfilled.
उस जगह से बोल रहा हूं जहां आतंक के आकाओं को मेरी आवाज सीधे सुनाई पड़ रही है। मैं आतंकवाद के इन सरपरस्तों को कहना चाहता हूं कि उनके नापाक मंसूबे कभी कामयाब नहीं होंगे।
The mountains of Kargil witnessed 2 months-long offensive action by Indian armed forces against the Pakistani intruders occupying vantage points. Codenamed Operation Vijay, the war began around May 1999 and was declared a success by the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on 26th of July, which is now observed as Kargil Vijay Divas.
देखिए ये मौका, ये जगह और रजत जयंती का मौका और ये कर्म भूमि, तो यहाँ से जो आवाज़ जाएगी तो उसमें बड़ी ताकत होती है और वो भी प्रधानमंत्री की तरफ से। और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि ये जो मैसेज है वो पाकिस्तान आर्मी के लिए खासकर उनको मिल गया होगा, क्योंकि हम शांति चाहते हैं लेकिन आतंकवाद नहीं चाहते और उसको खत्म करना हमारी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी है।
Moving on, India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar on Friday, in his opening remarks at the ASEAN-India Foreign Ministers meeting in Laos, said that the current political, economic and security cooperation with the bloc is New Delhi's top priority. The minister said ASEAN is the cornerstone of the ACT India policy and the Indo-Pacific vision and the people-to-people linkages that India is constantly seeking to expand. The ministers also exchanged views on several regional and international issues. Earlier on Thursday, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi, in a meeting with Jaishankar, noted the current complex international landscape and suggested that both the countries should step up dialogue and communication. He added that the two sides should take a rational approach to rise above differences and frictions for the betterment of India-China relations. Jaishankar is on a 3-day visit to Laos and is expected to hold several bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the ASEAN-related meetings. And amid the PTI's nationwide protest in Pakistan, jailed former PM Imran Khan has alleged Shehbaz Sharif-led government was trying to pit the opposition party, military and masses against each other. Khan's message was conveyed through opposition leader in the parliament, Omar Ayub Khan, who held a meeting with Khan in Adiala jail. Omar claimed 90% of Pakistan's population supports PTI and its founder Imran Khan. He alleged the current government has forced the army to act as their spokesperson. The opposition leader, quoting Khan, also urged the public to begin preparations for general elections in the country. The comments come a day after PM Shehbaz Sharif warned PTI against smear campaign against country's institutions. PTI, which is facing massive crackdown, has been accused by the government of being involved in anti-Pakistan propaganda. The opposition party, however, denies the accusations. And police in Karachi on Thursday briefly detained the chairman of Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, Asad Iqbal Butt, in a raid at his residence in a bid to stop his participation in the July 28 rally against enforced disappearance in Balochistan's Gwadar. Local media reports suggested the police wanted to know about support to Baloch activists by the rights body. As the news of the detention spread, the HRCP denounced the action as an unjust measure aimed at suppressing the voices advocating for human rights. Meanwhile, Baloch activists also condemned the move. The July 28 event in Gwadar is expected to be the largest gathering in Balochistan in recent times and aims to unite people affected by the excesses of Pakistani state. Human rights defenders have long raised concern over rise in enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings in Balochistan. Moving on, the Taliban on Thursday said that no terror group, including the ISIS, persists in Afghanistan and noted that nobody can threaten the existing Sharia system in the country. Taliban's Interior Minister Sirajuddin Haqqani during an event said that Sharia law prevents all factors that cause social instability and only those who oppose the system create terror. Meanwhile, Pakistan's envoy to Afghanistan, Asif Ali Durrani, has called on the Islamic Emirate to take effective measures against the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Durrani claimed that terrorism originates from Afghanistan, which is concerning especially for neighboring countries. Pakistan has long blamed that the Taliban provides safe haven to terror groups in Afghanistan, an accusation the regime denies and says that Afghanistan's soil is safe for all countries. And Sri Lanka will vote on September 21 to elect a new president, a government notice said on Friday, a crucial contest that is expected to determine the future of reforms in the crisis-hit island nation. The notice said nominations for the election have to be submitted on 15th of August. Incumbent President Ranil Wickremesinghe is widely expected to run in the election. Helped by a $2.9 billion IMF bailout loan, Wickremesinghe has stitched back the shattered economy, bringing down inflation from a steep 70% in late 2022 to 1.7% in June, strengthening the rupee and rebuilding foreign exchange reserves. His main contenders are opposition leader Sajith Premadasa and parliamentarian Anurakumara Dissanayake. Both have publicly said that they will look at revamping the IMF program to reduce cost of living pressures. However, analysts say the economic recovery is still very fragile and attempts to reverse the reforms could precipitate a new crisis. The Nepal Student Union on Thursday held a candlelight vigil in memory of the victims of this week's fatal air crash. At least 18 people were killed during the takeoff in Nepal's Kathmandu as it crashed and caught fire. It was going for regular maintenance to Nepal's new Pokhara airport, which opened last January. During the event, attendees wrote condolences in Nepali script while holding candles and observed a minute of silence. They also remember the passengers of 2 buses swept away by a landslide in Chitwan district.
आज यो हामीले नेभी सङ्घ त्रिचरण क्याम्पसद्वारा दीप प्रज्वलन कार्यक्रम आयोजना गरेका छौँ। हिजो भएको विमान दुर्घटना र केही दिन पहिला भएका त्रिशुली नदीका बस दुर्घटनालाई लिएर उनीहरुप्रति हार्दिक श्रद्धाञ्जली अर्पण गर्दै
The crash once again focused attention on the poor air safety record of the impoverished, landlocked Himalayan nation, which is heavily dependent on air connectivity due to its limited road network. Nearly 350 people have died in plane or helicopter crashes in the country since the year 2000. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.